So 26 degrees in the rainforest, 75% humidity. It's not the most unsweaty place you'll ever go. There's Bella Schofield for Wodonga, 17 years old then. Spectators getting out of the way as she drops into this rock section for the first time. The wide line has been taken out, taped off this year. Riders down through the middle of the rocks, much more difficult entrance.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Oh, she goes down. Look how slick it is. Yep, she's okay.
It says this section, like from right above that to down where we're watching, is one of the slipperiest sections I've ever ridden in my life.
It's one of those sections where, like, it's almost impossible to stop the rear wheel overtaking the front.
Yeah, like,
look at it. Yeah, but she could barely get, and she could barely get back to her bike. So this, I mean, say for Tracy, fastest qualifier by a good margin. A 4:35 actually. She didn't qualify in yesterday.
Look at how slippery
this is going to be crazy.
This is, so we were talking about when it stops raining. This is kind of kind of the worst it'll ever be, right? Like you either want it to keep raining so that it's soft.
You can hear it.
Right.
Listen to it. Sucking up off the wheels. It's going to make this race much more difficult, obviously.
Yeah.
It's also, Elliot, going to make this race much more physical. And this is already a very physical track. So Bella, after that crash, obviously nowhere near. I wonder if riders are even going to be able to send that. If you can't send that double that Bella just rode through onto this finish line straight, because it did look wet and soft, then, man, that's a different proposition.
Yeah,
not carrying any speed onto this big pedal down to the line.
Yeah, it is so incredibly physical. I mean, when it gets wet, this track is just so slow. We actually saw G. Atherton win here with flats back in the day because of how slippery it was.
But Schofield across the line then. Brave effort. She goes fourth. Arthur Gill leading with that 4:45 by a fair margin of 41 seconds at the moment, showing you.
You okay? You can see Martha's time gap 40 seconds faster than second at the moment.
And let's have a look into this rock section. I mean,
really nice through the rocks. Like that section is absolutely, like, horrendously slow.
Yeah, it is. The tyres not very clean either when you go in there. Okay. To Tsubasa Hara, just 16-year-old then, this young Japanese woman.
Yeah.
Kubamura in Japan.
That's right. Riding for that mountain bike club. She's been putting out helmet cams every day of her riding. I've been kind of watching, taking that inside line into the rocks. That's going to shave off a little bit of time.
Gets around that. Yeah, gets around that route nicely. Good ride in there.
Let's see how she does down this section, this off camber.
Oh, well, she's held a good line there. Kept nice. Great riding then from the Japanese rider there. And look at the pedaling. You're going to need it. Front loses the front over the top of there. And that's because the tyres on these slower sections, you can't get the mud out of them, and they're almost like slicks.
Yeah,
just to add to the lack of grip.
That's right. They don't really clear.
No. And that is a big problem. 10 back, though, at split 2. Martha Gill leading at 4:45.
Great to see some of the Japanese rider. I mean,
And that bike was skipping, sliding as she came down there. It's unbelievably slick right now. It may improve. It's so hot in the rainforest. Oh, my God, big one. She's straight up, I think.
Yeah, and that it does push you toward the wall right there. And you were talking about how important that last jump is. There she is.
Oh, wow! Crazy here in Cairns then.
She's back up.
She's going again. She looks like she's been mud wrestling by the time she gets to the finish line.
You have to go for it down that last section because you don't want to have to pedal any harder than you need to.
Come on, Tsubasa, you can do it. Look at this. You got to feel for these athletes, these riders now. 16-year-old Tsubasa Hara going to get it across the line after a tumultuous run down this Cairns track this afternoon.
And we can see how much slower it is, the times compared.
I did bring all of last year's winning times.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to throw them out the window.
Oh.
There is no comparison.
What were they? Bring them out.
Bring them out. I'll have a look. Mary's put me on the spot. So Martha Gill up. 41-second lead.
And Martha from the UK, I mean, she's probably used to these.
Also, Elliot, what are you saying?
You guys in the UK love the mud. Here's that crash. So watch her get pushed over to the left.
Just gets compressed, and out she comes. Big impact into the wall. Good to see her get up from that, and then belly sliding down the mountain. Wow. It's slick out there.
It is.
Ellie Smith now. 120 pound in those forks, PSI.
Australian national champ. Travels to the World Cup. Her and Duke.
Turning left now into this rock section. Riders cautiously in. 23 years old now. And getting well offline there. Big correction. Losing some serious time there.
It's one of those tracks where even if you make a mistake like that, you have to remember that it is wet and everyone's going to be making mistakes.
Absolutely right, yep. And down through the alien tree. If the feet come off there, you really are battling. You can't get your weight far enough back despite those mistakes. Look at that.
That's right. I mean,
3.7 up, incredible.
You have to keep pushing because you never really know.
Sleeve on Ellie's arm means that she's national champ of Australia at the moment.
Continuing to push. She's been training super hard. Makes it down there. She's going to try to get this double. 7.9
up. Now she sends it. And this is going to mean that, well, Martha might have sent it as well, actually. Didn't see her run earlier today, but this is definitely going to be the new leader. 8 seconds at split number 3.
Seeing her just death grip.
You don't forget the pain of the last sprint of the Cairns track here.
No.
Good thing is it is at the very end of the track. You can absolutely bury yourself then. And Ellie Smith, well, lost time on that sprint. So Martha Gill would have sent that double as well. Nearly 5 seconds, though, the advantage. A great run. Ellie Smith leading Crankworx Cairns.
Great run from Ellie.
Yeah, good stuff.
There's that. So as soon as you get a foot off, in a section like this, you have to just say, I'm just gonna keep it off because there's not really any way back. You can kind of let off the brakes a little bit and just kind of go for it, but you see her getting good pedals on that flat section. That's one of the more key sections because right after that is super fast. So the faster you can come down that alien tree section and the more pedals you can get, the more speed you'll have. See her just drifting over that.
It's
so
insanely
gnarly.
slippery. And a big pull. Fair play getting over that cleanly. Oh, there she is, Ellie Smith. Smiling after that one. Let's hope everyone else is. Just 5 to go here then. If you just joined us, it's Crankworx Cairns. And it's the Rock Shocks downhill.
Shows you how tiring these tracks. These are one of the best women in the world. If you're not tired after that pedal, you've probably done something wrong.
Yeah. Time to relax in a deck chair.
Used to have a pool there last year.
Did.
No pool this year.
Weather's gone against it this time. And that's everything else that's coming up over the weekend. Pump track Saturday, of course, slope style on Sunday. Don't miss that. The women dropping in as well. We had dual slalom kicking this festival off last night. As ever, it's a real party. The Australians love their mountain biking. Great to see them up in the forest.
They do.
Risking all outside the tape of the track.
I was just about to
Me and
say.
Elliot don't feel comfortable.
My goodness.
Comfortable as the locals there. The drop bears are terrifying. Yeah, the drop bear come on you?
That's right. Here we see that mistake that Ellie made. Normally you'd want to be a little bit further over. There's a kind of a no-go zone in between where she is and that big rock.
Yeah.
So getting back on.
Horrible.
it.
Look at that when they're riding down. When you look at it.
Man, I just can't explain how slippery that rock section is.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable, that grease thin layer of slime over everything.
Yeah, but at least Ellie spends a bunch of time in Europe when she does the World Cup. So rides in Morzine, one of the slipperiest places in the world.
Well, it's the leader then of the Queen of Crankworx from Rotorua. This year's competition, 25 years old, Shania Rawson. Actually took the silver medal as a junior here in 2017, so knows this track well. Coming in aggressively to this rock
Super
section.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, really fast.
Takes that outside line.
Going different line. Should carry a little more speed out. It's a long way round, but it is safer.
Yeah, you see that stay smooth and stay consistent. That's what her plan is. So he's not really trying to blow the world. Oh, and she gets off right before.
Something there. That's the alien tree. Well, we've seen it, just how insane. I mean, it's really hard to ride a bicycle down there. Off into the rainforest for Shania Rawson. What a shame for her.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect the Queen of Crankworx. Yeah,
especially because Martha is in second right now. And yeah, that section I think is, and that's probably one of the reasons actually she was saying that she really just wanted to stay smooth and consistent, because she knows that she's in a fight for the overall.
Yeah.
It's a difficult position to be in. I remember talking to Tracy Hannah.
People are it's so slippery, they can't even, everyone's struggling just to retrieve her bike from the side of the course here.
But yeah, Tracy Hannah was talking about, when she won that overall, the last race, she didn't really know what to do, right? Like when you're in that position and you're leading an overall series like the Queen of Crankworx.
That's right, it's really difficult to gauge. And I mean, you just saw it there for Shania, for Tracy as well, who wants to win this today at the fastest qualifier. It's difficult. You've only got to hit your front wheel on a route or something and be deflected off. And there's not much you can do about it when it's this slick.
No.
It's difficult to get it right.
Yes, Shania did have a good finish in the dual slalom yesterday, so
yeah,
she'll be wanting to finish the week off strong for sure, even though that downhill didn't go her way. Just got to rebound, get back into pump track. And
so 4 riders left. Madison Smith from Trinity Beach, just 18 years old then, this woman. Next to drop in. These turns, that first turn, been there since 1996 when the first World Championships were here into this rock section.
Taking that inside line.
Yeah, gets in tight.
Madison's got a ton of skill on the bike.
Feet down here.
You almost see her shake her head like, no way.
And it's difficult there as well, of course, on top of everything else. You've got the crowd screaming at you to go quicker.
Yeah.
Forcing you to make a mistake you might not have done. So she's through there safely, and Smith carrying good pace down here. A long way off at split 2, 25 seconds into the red.
Yeah, and Madison's kind of her first couple of years traveling, going around Australia, getting some more experience. Not losing that much time to Ellie down that last split. But yeah, a rider that has tons of style on the bike. You watch her Instagram, whipping over the jumps and
burying herself like so many riders before her. On this last pedal down to the line then. Madison Smith crosses the line and goes in third place. Very respectable for her. 31 seconds back, such are the time gaps. But do not give up today.
You could see her saying that she crashed up there, so maybe that same section.
I crashed, but I'm out of I think I'm right. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah. Where'd you come down? The root garden. Oh, near the bottom. Oh, is that the one where there's just heaps of roots? Oh, yeah. Oh, that bit gives me anxiety.
Job well done. Nowhere getting to the bottom of this one, clean.
Good run from Madison. I mean, this is a great experience for her to be out here in the wet at Crankworx competing against some of these, women that are super experienced. So she should definitely be proud of that run.
Absolutely. Bella Birchall then from Rotorua, just 16 years old, and junior national champion last year, and 5th at this year's national championships. We saw her actually take part in that NZ race, finishing a great 7th place there, and it's
inside and
really good. Look at this, straight through the rock section.
First,
that was insane.
First rider we've seen do that line.
Yeah, and holding it, and the sun's out now, and the bits in the sun. Look at the feet coming off into this section. No, it's so treacherous. Both feet are off, and Birchall in a bit of trouble here.
Oh,
in
no.
big trouble. She's held it, made her way through there. Perhaps undoing the good work she had on that top rock section.
I mean, she's up. She's up still. That's all that matters.
Yeah, amazing. That is so slick. The bike just sliding both ways. That will improve if it doesn't rain again. 12, nearly 13 seconds into the red then for Bella Birchall. What a mess that part of the track is, Elliot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any part can kind of catch you out up there. And
so hard as a rider, like the three at the top, knowing how bad that is. You know you're going to get there, and every bit of you is going to tell you, you need to ride this clean, you need to get through it feet up, and I don't know, it's so difficult to gauge just how hard to push.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a really good point because these riders haven't ridden this track in these conditions either.
No, that's right. Not quite as wet it is. Big torrential rainfall this morning. 15 seconds back then for Bella Birchall.
You're just trying to will yourself to not sit down on this pedal.
It takes an unbeliever, man. More willpower than I've ever had.
I was going to say.
I don't mind admitting it.
Oh, nice on the pedal there from Bella.
Look at that, yeah.
Awesome job.
Well done, Bella. In the 3rd place she goes then. It's going to be a top 5 finish for her today. The best elite finish actually then at a Crankworx.
And you can see Bella, like I was talking about, finding those V's in the rocks. So you can kind of just say, I'm going to let my tires slide, find a V, not worry about it. And then in this stuff, you can't really pedal. Anytime you make any sudden movements on these routes, on these flat sections, your bike's going to get unsettled. So nice by Bella, hipping out to the side here. That line that Tsubasa was trying to hit.
Back to the top, 2 to go. Eleni Turkovic now then. From Davidson, just 16 years old as well. A great qualifier from this woman, so she's got some pace, Elliot.
Yeah, pump track national champion, U17 national champion.
Wide line into the rocks. Oh! Rides the points, gets away with it. Nice. So carrying great speed through there, but now things get really tricky. Feed up as she enters Alien Tree.
There we go.
And that's clean. Ah, that's amazing. Incredible riding on that high line. And now I'm going to say Tracy's going to be under pressure.
Yeah, what a nice, just
that was amazing riding.
Confident through there. You have
That's
to
why
be.
you might run a mud spike on the front like Mick Hannah is.
That's right.
If you lose the front, you've had it at the back, less so you can almost do what it wants. But yeah, that was amazing riding.
Really nice from Eleni. You know, she's got this really nice style.
Yeah.
I am watching her Instagram, and she practices a lot of rocks, so I'm not actually surprised that she was able to hold those lines through there. Lost a little bit of time at the top, but been making it back up, so.
5 back there, that second split, very much in touch though with Ellie Smith. Arthur Gill 4.9 back, so, you know, if she doesn't take the lead here, she might be able to get in a 2nd place if she can keep going like this.
That's right, and when the conditions are like this, there's definitely time to be made up. Everything matters.
Yeah, huge
kind of
time.
Twice as much as it normally does.
Absolutely, huge opportunities and carrying good speed over there. 2-wheel drifting out of that turn. 7.6 back now though. Big
nice
falling
ball.
over the double. Good to see the sunlight piercing through these trees now.
Laying down the power. She really needs to keep going because she can hit Martha Gill.
Yeah, she could get Martha. She stood up powering. What's it going to be then? 4.9 off Ellie Smith. Martha Gill, here comes Eleni Turkovic, and she goes into 3rd place, 6.26 back. Well, a great run for her. So the Australian leading the Brit, the Australian, and Bella Birchall from New Zealand in 4th. Madison Smith, the Australian, in 5th. 1 rider left at the top. And look at this, skill. Oh, the front wheel sliding everywhere. Holding on to it though, a great run for Turkovic. Even perhaps more impressive through the alien tree.
Yeah, she has been the only rider to navigate that top section, and it is we were talking about the willpower in the pedal, but I think it's the same amount of willpower to come into this section that's incredibly slick and say, I'm just not going to put a foot down, no matter what my bike does, just kind of let it slide. Hopefully it catches.
Yeah, they're down the roots as well. Oh my god. Dude, all I'll say is good job cycling, so yourself down
Just sitting on the outside of those circles, listening to the replays.
No better bench racing after a mud race. Okay then, Tracy Hannah from Trinity Beach, 35 years old now, became a mum 6 months ago. The winner of 5 World Cup in her career, the overall World Cup winner, the most successful Crankworx female downhiller, 12 of these to her name. Can she make it 30 in the day?
Oh, little hang up.
The first year we came in 2022. It's cautious but good. Straight through the middle for Tracy Hannah, showing that World Cup class through there.
Oh,
this
wow.
Is the crux.
Only 1.7 up on Ellie.
But this is the difficult bit. Oh, Hannah on that high line as well. And I get the feeling now Tracy will open up.
Yeah, now she's through it. She knows that she can really push. There's a bit of a middle section, so now we're at the bottom of the track. Has to stay smooth. 15 seconds.
Oh my goodness me. Where has Tracy found 14 seconds between split 1 and 2, and it's just carrying speed. Her racecraft is incredible.
Oh, you can just see the corner speed.
And gets inside that tree there. That means she's going to carry better speed out.
I mean, we saw this before, though. She did at World Championship. She did have a crash. And
Tyson and baby Cooper here today. Her mum and dad are here as well. Said she's got plenty of babysitters, so she's able to race. Incredible, those 6 months. 15 seconds up though, so Tracy Hannah, is she sprinting towards her second Crankworx win here in Cairns? Took the bronze medal of the World Championships in 2017 after a massive crash on that race run. Actually left her unconscious on the side of the track for a moment.
Man, I know. It's so good to see Tracy.
Here comes Tracy Hannah, then she's gonna do it. Tracy Hannah crosses the line to take the win at Crankworx Cairns. 4:22.3, 18 seconds into the green. She's never retired from the sport, but she does return to racing with a win. It's been 4 years since Tracy Hannah got on a bike, and that was incredible. That's going to feel great for her. She's going to laugh.
Feels bad now, but it'll feel great later.
Yeah, that's right.
Good run.
She's back. Tracy is back. And there's your top 3. Congratulations to Ellie Smith and Martha Gilbert. It is a massive winning margin for Tracy.
There's her through the rocks. Just
Played it safe, as you got to.
But she's so, I mean, you could just see her so perfect.
Yeah.
Her head, you know, you can see where she's looking.
Right online, huh?
Yeah, to the exits of the rocks, the exits of the turns.
And then we all knew just how easy it would be to throw it away on this section, but Tracy cleanly through there.
Yeah, she's still just got that precision, that corner speed, this amazing kind of average speed down the track. You can actually see, like I said, just always looking toward the exits. Still knows exactly what she's doing.
Been training hard. There's Cam. He's going to be bringing you all the action. Cam McCall over the next couple of days.
Makes us look kind of bad. I mean, she goes and wins races, and now she's about to do our job.
She is multitasking on another level. She's actually going to be helping us with the men's broadcast as soon as she's recovered. But Tracy Hannah has won Crankworx Cairns, and we're going to hear from her now. Let's hear from her. Over to you, Cam.
Tracy, mom power. You are no stranger to this course. You are no stranger to winning on this course in front of friends and family, but this will be your first time winning with your offspring out there in the crowd. What do you make of those treacherous conditions today out on the course?
Oh man, treacherous is not even the word. I mean, you've seen
the girls come down, and B group practice is just catastrophic. So me and Joel just had to sit behind the tent, like pretty nervous to get down the track. It wasn't about the race, it was about surviving.
Well, you survived. You did more than survive. 2 years ago, you won by 0.1 of a second. I think it was about 15 seconds today. So that was very powerful. Congratulations, Tracy Hannah. Let's hear it for her.
Amazing to see. And now we do start to turn our attention to Mick Hannah. Can they do the double air? We'll have a look at these results.
Now the pressure is on Mick.
She's done it. 17 seconds it was then. A massive winning margin, even bigger than the qualifier. Tracy Hannah will be mightily relieved to have won that today. Martha Gill coming in third, 20 seconds back.
Yeah, good run from Eleni, Martha Gill making up some points on Shania there with that crash.
And you know how treacherous and how hard it is when the top 8 are separated by over a minute. That's just
right.
how slippery it is in Cairns today. Looks like the weather clearing up now though, the sunshine coming through. Okay, well join me and Elliot for the mid-show. And then the men are coming up after that. We'll see you in a few moments.
These road warriors skate every day. Their passport to freedom is 4 wheels and a wooden deck.
That's what's up.
The greatest locations, the raddest tricks, skateboarding icons.
We skate streets.
All right.
Skateboarding on Red Bull TV.
Red Bull Hardline is coming home.
Sickest event in mountain biking.
Oh my goodness me!
After a memorable premiere in Australia, the downhill biking elite reunite in Wales for the world's toughest downhill race.
Oh! What?
Go hard
Mad.
or go home. Red Bull Hardline, live on Red Bull TV.
It's time again for 3-second free falls and pure thrills in unique places worldwide.
This is going to be the most incredible season we have ever had.
Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series 2024. Live on Red Bull TV.
Okay, well, welcome back then. We just had a phenomenal women's race in Cairns, Australia for the Rock Shocks downhill. And it was Tracy Hannah who came out on top. No real surprise, Elliot, but not an easy day to pull something like that off, right?
Yeah, I mean, you heard her say how treacherous it was. And so even though it was hard, I mean, and Tracy made it look easy, it's so nice to see her take the win.
It was a brilliant ride. I mean, 4 years away from racing now. She had some big injuries, of course, in that time, but we know that Tracy puts everything in. I mean, she's been commentating with us for the last few years.
Yeah.
You can see how difficult that is. in the respect that she would really, everything wanted to get her on the line there. And amazing for her today to take the win. I mean, we've got Mick to look forward to in the men's, last year's men's winner here. But like, you know, baby Cooper's there, Tyson, her partner's there, and mum and dad are going to be there. It's going to be a special day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Tracy is one of those people that just loves riding bikes. She loves racing her bike. She loves being out on the track.
She loves the process, the training. She loves it.
For sure.
Let's have a look at what you got for us. What you pulled out of that for us, Elliot.
Yeah, so I really wanted to highlight, I talked about a couple of those Vs, and so I just wanted to highlight what I was talking about there. So this first part, she takes that inside line, and you're going to see her line up her tires right there. And that's the V number 1. That's going to give her a little bit of traction. V number 2 comes out right here. As you can see, if you are over just a little bit, then you're going to slide on that.
It's got to be so accurate then.
Totally. It's V's all the way down. So always you're looking for that traction kind of, if you are off a little bit, then you just slide. So that's kind of what you're aiming for in those rock sections.
And I mean, if like you're looking at that there, and it's like centimeters, millimeters. Yeah. If you do hit any of those rocks on the side there, if you get out of those V's, obviously when it's wet like this, the tyre slides, sends you off centre, your balance goes, and before you know it, the tyre slid again, and as we've seen, you're on the deck. So, you know, fair play to ride that section under that sort of pressure is incredible.
I think that that's kind of where the experience comes in, right? Like when you walk the track, when we talk about how downhill is so precise, you know, she will have ridden this track a lot, but also she knows what to look for. She knows that, you know, when it's dry, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, but she knows when it gets wet, that's where she's going. It's inch perfect all the way down.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if you ever are in the tropics of Australia in the Cairns area, there is so much to see and do. I went crocodile watching last year. It was actually unbelievable. This is what some of the athletes got up to this time.
Today we're out at the Little Mulgrave River. We're going to go do some tubing.
Dude, this is a puffy life jacket.
Why is this fat?
Ooh, what's your name?
They look like a pretty adventurous bunch of people. I mean, we might see some of them fall out and go for a bit of a swim, but I'm sure they can take a bit of punishment.
I'm just learning how to swim today.
Feels fast, it's light.
Got some little rapids, little grade 2 rapids, which might seem kind of small and insignificant, but in the tubes that we got over there, they'll seem much bigger.
This is the safest I've ever felt with the helmet, the body pad.
You can take on any crocodile.
Make Dumb and Dumber seem real smart.
What dangerous jump on them? It's freezing! Go jump me off!
Oh my god! Say it another way, you're like, this is gonna be so peaceful. I want you to be like, it looks so nice. Not nice. I was the only one that stayed up. Let's go. I thought I made it. I made it to the end, and then it just like...
That was really cool. It's cool. It's such a pretty area around here in the tropics, and it was cool to do a fun activity through it. This is the dream. It was cold getting in, but we're good now.
Oh my god, so much fun!
We thought we'd be a leisurely float down the river, but we've all come out quite a few times. It's good fun.
It doesn't really work.
What was that? So much fun.
Sick.
Yeah, it was very cool to see had like deep in the rainforest and stuff while just floating through the river. And some of it was very calm, some of it was pretty gnarly. We got to experience everything out there today.
I think it was just sick to like, yeah, just spawn with the group. You guys are all just such sick people, and definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I would do it again, 100%.
Join me back next year, guys. Good job, crew.
Good work, team.
I do it again.
Well, great to see everyone being brought together by the nature, and there is so much out there, isn't there? I mean, it is. Yeah. It's one of the most spectacular places on earth you can actually visit. I mean, just look at it. It's so breathtaking.
I think.
Go on.
I just love Cairns.
Yeah, I do.
I've done that same float. It's actually so nice, and Cairns, you know, you can jump off waterfalls, visit the Great Barrier Reef. It's one of the best places to just hang out with friends.
Yeah, it really is. There's nowhere like it. There isn't. Okay, men's race. Time to turn our attention to the men. Mick Hannah, we'll talk about him in a minute. Can he pull it off? But of course, the Crankworx World Tour got underway 2 months ago now, actually, in Rotorua. And what a race we saw there. Sam Blenkinsop taking that 3rd place in his World Cup preparations. Jacob Dewitt, another phenomenal run. Look at the speed of it. But lucky as Stevens-McNab, again from the Union team. Fair to say he impressed us.
He impressed us, and I think that it was one of the most impressive runs I've seen on that track. And he backed it up at this recent World Cup in Poland. He was first place until the third split, beating, ahead of Loic Bruni, ahead of, Ronan Dunn, everyone. So
and that was after everyone had finished, right? At the last split, he was a second up. So if he hadn't lost the front,
that's right.
It would have been a very interesting tale if he'd got to the bottom.
That's right.
So that's and that's what Crankworx does. It's like it gives these riders confidence you don't know.
It's a stepping stone. It's a booster.
That's what it is. For sure. Absolutely. Well, one man who doesn't need a booster is 40 years old now, Mick Hannah. He's done pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's right. 2
silver World Championship medals. He's won here in Cairns at Crankworx last year. He's Tracy's brother, more importantly. And now, Elliot, he's under. Let's make no mistake. The whole family's there.
Yeah.
Everyone they know is there. He is under massive pressure.
Under massive pressure.
Everyone has wanted to see this double in the Hannah family since the dawn of time. So, Mick, I know there is some pressure on you.
I mean, even last year, he had some pressure. He was down at the last split before the pedal. He barely got it back. I think it was ahead of Jackson Frew. And now, like you said, the pressure is on. He flew back straight from Europe I think it was last week from the EDR.
Cejudo actually flew in, I think he left Europe on Tuesday from Poland and then got in at 3 a.m. and rode, because he's trying to defend the King of Crankworx style. And then went straight in a duel and then downhill today. I mean, fair play after 40 hours travel.
I think he's all good. I feel like for some reason, I think Toyota was just like, yeah.
He'll just take it. But let's go back to Mick Hannah, because as we said, he's extraordinary to me. I love him. I've raced with him.
Yeah.
And he's now busy with Enduro, E-Enduro on the EEDR series. Do you know when his first World Cup win was? His only World Cup win was? Do you know how long? You won't even be able to believe how long ago it is.
What is that? Vigo?
It was.
2007?
2006. Very close. I mean, nearly 20 years.
That's crazy.
That's how long Mick Hannah's been at the top. Not the only rider. I'm looking forward to seeing Joel Sutherland, the dentist, who impressed us last year with a 5th place. I mean, he's going to be good. Conor Fearon's there, Elliot. I mean, we know how fast Conor Fearon can be. He's actually was going to come to Red Bull Hardline. Don't forget to watch that next weekend live on Red Bull TV. And he actually denied me. No, I don't want to come. He was offered a spot there. I'm concentrating on Crankworx Cairns. So he's going to be going for that today.
Yeah, he's done well here in the past.
Either that or he saw the size of the gap.
That can turn any man off.
And don't forget Jackson Frew, who came so close last year here.
He's
impressive.
Hungry. He's going to be really hungry for this overall this year.
One of the early World Cup. Yeah, he did a lot of time on the World Cup. He's flying now. OK, well, the men are coming up. Myself and Elliot going to go and sit ourselves into commentary. Stay with us. The men's race coming right up after this. Rock Shox Downhill coming at you.
Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV.
Well, if you just joined us, welcome to the tropics of Cairns in Australia. It's Rock Shox Downhill Day there. Day 2 of the festival. 50th Crankworx festival of all time, so a real party atmosphere.
So, I mean, that is going to hurt to speed.
Robin Coombs, this was a historic moment. That backflip Innsbruck in 2021.
And she's done many backflips since. Loves to go upside down.
I mean, it's crazy to see that was just a couple years ago, and now everyone's doing them. Robin can do those like it's no big deal.
It's a backflip in a Crankworx speed and style competition.
One of those amazing moments that we've had at Crankworx over the years.
And there's oh my goodness me! Well, the man,
there's the dude.
There he is. Elliot knows what I'm talking about.
Jet lagged.
We're not yet. Cejudo. Here he is. Incredible run from him. I was actually looking at Sean McCarroll in 3rd place there. He was the fastest qualifier. The man, not the man we're looking at now, Cejudo. The man in 3rd place in that hot seat. Sean McCarroll, 56 years old now. And in 1996, He was the fastest qualifier at these World Championships. A real local man.
Crazy.
Ryan Gilchrist, watch out for him.
Number 1 in dual slalom yesterday. He's going to want to keep that going.
That's right, he is. And going well in the King of Crankworx as well, Ryan Gilchrist. So he'll be looking for some points today.
One of the strongest dudes you'll see. No stress on the pedal. Riding that trail bike here. Seen that over the years. Sam Hill, I think it was 8th World Championships, kind of setting off the trail bike craze at Cairns.
And there he is, look, Tahuto from Rotorua in New Zealand.
How does Ryan's been there a while.
Defending King of Crankworx.
Well, I mean, he's in casual clothes. He's just in a t-shirt and shorts.
Chilling out. The fans up in the rock section. They've been visiting this rock section since 1996. We go to the top for this man who is looking all fired up here then. Cameron Clemett from Blenheim, 20 years old.
Synergy 3017.
Oh, flying over the top of these rocks. And into this rock section, carrying good pace through there, straight lining. Not bad at all, Elliot.
Yeah.
You can see, though, that if you're prepared to roll the dice there, you can make masses of time.
Well, for sure, because you have a catch berm at the bottom, and so, like you said,
if you're prepared to get off the
courage,
brake, the courage.
If you're brave, you can't let it off. Cameron's super stylish, dude. He's one of those guys that I always say, like, you look at his Instagram and he's just this incredible rider. Everything looks amazing. I don't know how you take pictures like that, but
taking his time out. Not sure if you've got a problem with him. It's looking more and more like we might have. Perhaps Cameron Clemett been down from New Zealand. It wouldn't surprise me, actually, Elliot, in these conditions. It's so treacherous.
I just had this deja vu. On that section right there, Nico Mullally came out, crashed, got up, still got a 3rd place back in.
That's right, I remember. When Bruni won.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Let's see how
so clearly some issues for Cameron Clemett then, I think. A bit further up, feet out now. Not covered in dirt there. But the clock telling a different story.
Yeah, and it is. There's so many places that you can make a mistake on this track.
Yeah.
Routes that can catch you out. We saw a couple of the women getting a little bit off. Only a second back, 1.4 back at that first split. So
9 back at split too. Yeah. So, well, when you look at the big time gaps, McCarroll there, 11 back. Sean McCarroll still could be heading towards a 3rd place. We saw in the women's race these massive time gaps on this arduous course this afternoon. So not going to threat Tahuto Arika Pene's time. He goes 5th, 14.2 back. I don't think he has been down. I think he's just, well, battling.
Yeah, baby.
And Elliot, it's not actually ridiculous now. We're not there. We can't see the weather, but we can see it's not raining. To say that the track could slow up. It could turn from loose mud to glue. You can hear it in a few spots. We'll keep an eye on this now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it gets worse before it gets better after it rains. So we might see the sun kind of went behind the tree or behind the clouds again. So it'll be interesting to see if it dries up for these later riders. Cameron getting some good speed. Ideally, that's one of those sections that you don't want to take a foot off it because it flattens out there and you really want to get some good pumps coming into this last Red Bull Rawson roll section. Cameron actually lost a lot of time in the pedal, so
I've had a correction in. Bruni won he won in 2016, not 2014. And it was his first World Cup win. He'd already been world champion by then.
Right, I remember that.
Excuse me. Well, party atmosphere in Cairns, 50th ever Crankworx Festival. Everyone's going to be having a good time. It's raining, it doesn't matter. It's still 40 degrees Fahrenheit, degrees centigrade.
That's a perfect picture for that.
Yeah.
Everyone loving it up there.
Oh, it's a good atmosphere in Australia, always up there in Queensland. Next man on track. You're going to see some of these enduro riders coming through here on these shorter travel bikes.
I think that might have been Dave Hetherington. Next rider.
And, you know, Elliot, I mean, you can't say too much about... I don't think we'll see a win on an enduro bike, to be honest. But Sam Hillier in 2017 World Championships, do you remember when he was riding all the EWS, the Enduro World Series? He didn't want to get on a downhill bike. He raced it on a single Crown Fork and finished, I believe, was it 6th or 7th it was? He was right in there anyway, so... And of course, some history from here, the first World Championships in 1996. They were won, of course, by Nico Vullo. But it was Sean Palmer who was 0.15 off Nicholas Vullo. Man by history, would not be the same if Palmer had been 0.15 quicker and been world champion. I think that would have changed.
Did he ever get a world champion?
No, he didn't. No, he won one World Cup at Big Bear.
What was the one where he slid out last
year? That was in Åre in Sweden. He hit the curb. Everyone, I don't know, it was a while ago whether he actually was going to win or not. But I have been back there since, and there is a shrine.
No way.
On that, there is something there. They've marked it. They've marked where Palmer hit the curb. Yeah.
There's an iconic photo of him just like sitting on the ground, right? Of like kind of just knowing that he threw it away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was one of the most iconic moments. Everything he did was one of the most iconic moments, wasn't it?
That's true.
Let's have a look at Tracy's Hannah then. Looks like we're on a course hold over there. In Cairns, Australia, this is the winning run from the women. Tracy Hannah coming back after a 4-year hiatus. Big injuries along the way there, including actually a concussion at the end that really caused us some problems. But she's back. Had a baby 6 months ago. Cooper's here. Tyson as well, her partner. Tyson, Tracy's partner, they don't come any more Australian than him. He jumps off his boat out by the Great Barrier Reef. It's underwater, stays under with a spear gun, spearfishing for like 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, Tracy said the currents are so strong, you're not quite sure where he's going to come up. So but he is like the real deal. That whole alligators, that sort of thing.
That whole crew is the real deal.
They are, yeah.
It doesn't get more Australian than the Hannah family, extended family. Every time I go down there, I'm like, you guys do what?
Yeah, the ordinary tales that they tell you.
Right.
Tracy also told me that when he was down, and I think they try to, when he was down fishing, obviously the spearfishing can attract sharks, and I think it was a reef shark. But she was like, casually like, and then that reef shark attacked you. And he was like, I had to punch it on the nose. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, under the water? I was, this is like, He goes like, yes, the nose is sensitive. It's soon clear. I was like, is this real? What's going on here? This is Crocodile Dundee stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Madness. So Tahuto Erika Pene leading this 50th ever Crankworx 352. Let's go down to the finish area. We've got an interview. It's Tracy Hannah. Here she is.
Tahuto, I mean, you come down a little bit earlier. It had only just finished raining. Can you take us through your run?
The run was all good. We pretty much just got to the top on the shuttle and dropped in 5 minutes or 10 minutes later. But it was raining and then it stopped as soon as we dropped in. I was all good, but it was still slick as.
Well, you're sitting in the hot seat now. Do you think the boys will fare in these conditions now that's kind of drying out? It gets pretty slick up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I don't know how this place dries up, if it's quick or not. We'll just have to see.
Oh, well, sit back, relax, and we'll see how the boys go.
Oh, we're relaxing, all right.
Hey, no one sounds more relaxed. He knows what he is, the definition of relaxed.
Yeah, on that new intense team. And I mean, Tracy as well. She just got off we just saw her take that winning run, and now she's down to the finish area interviewing.
Mad. Yeah, Tracy Hannah, athlete 1 minute, Crankworx winner. moments later, she's changed. She's like Superwoman, and
yeah, that's right.
She's in the finish line interviewing for us. And interesting to me, actually, Elliot, is that Mick's qualifier yesterday at 3:48.8, the fastest qualifier. So who came close to that 3:52?
That's right.
And
it's a race.
We know it's a bit of a weird one as we look at Jack Bulstrode. The seed and run here, never that accurate because obviously it's so physical the day before the race.
That's right.
You want to lay it all out there for 30 seconds, blow those legs up? Probably not.
Jack
Bulstrode then coming now off Ronning's ramp, 21 seconds back, last double for him. But listen
you can hear how slow it is. It's just grabbing you. That Formula Racing team for Jack, trying to put in a good finish to his run.
Coming down to the line then, Jack Bulstrode goes in 11th place, 21 seconds off. Oh, and that one will have stung a bit in the lungs. Oh.
You can't do anything. I remember you used to always say, like, what do you think about? Hopefully you're thinking about something nice, being on the beach. Yeah. Only thing that gets you through.
Not far away, at least. Cooper Northey now, 16 years old, from Bright, this Australian man. I remember coming myself over those rocks there on that giant Glory Legends edition, done in the same colours as the ATX one. I've got one of those. Not white,
Probably,
built up and hurt myself on it.
I don't know if you look like Cooper winning the splits in the rock gardens.
No, I don't. You're right there. And really pushing on there. Quickly on the pedals as well.
Yeah, and Cooper, you saw him hit a little bit of brakes in the rock section. As soon as you do that, you lose all traction. Recovered nicely, though. Obviously came in super hot. He's up at split 2.
Oh, by 8-10. So, and look at that.
Oh!
Did he just
flipped a little, trying to hold it a little bit tight into that section. That corner has always been so flat. It has 2 routes, one on the way in, one on the way out.
So, Tahuto then.
Oh!
No! Well, he's okay. Oh, horrible.
So frustrating.
But that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
addled, your brain, everything. You're just not in the zone anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, he's 16 years old. He'll look back at the splits. He'll look back at this broadcast and know that he was 0.7 and 0.8 up on Tuhadar Ricky Pene. So
a World Cup racer.
Yeah, that's
the king of Crankworx.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
16 years old. Yeah, it's been a good experience for him today. That's for sure.
Needs to keep pedaling. Peak down, maybe giving him a little bit of extra aerodynamics there.
We were talking a bit about in Beyond the Line about skin suits.
That's right.
Stuff this week. The skin suits were one thing. The shortened or the removal. I can barely say it. The removal of the visor, the peak, at some point. I mean, that brought in another rule change because someone was like,
well,
we really look uncool
Nico
now.
Malali did all kind of testing. You know, he figured out where to cut. Let's see the second crash here. I think this is actually the first one. Oh, you just saw that. That's that second one. So just those routes. There's so many sideways routes here, and so you're always kind of unweighting and waiting.
Wyatt Stevens-McNab, just 17 years old, then so many riders that seem just to come literally out of Rotorua.
Well, I mean, his brother's lighting the world on fire, so.
What do we expect then? For him through here, brother taking the win at round 1.
Nice.
Fast through there. Direct as well on the exit. Straight out.
A little
Has he
bit
got a flat?
wild.
No. He's just
Seems
taking
to be
his time
chilling,
in the
yeah.
alien tree. Well, that's right.
Nice through there. He's
sliding, not because there's a lack of pressure in there. So good speed for him so far. Then clean through that rock section.
Yeah, really controlled. There's definitely some more time to be had in between there, but you saw Wyatt.
Here we go. What's the clock? So some issues then for Wyatt, somewhere we haven't seen. 1.5 back at split 1.
Looks
Further
like
back.
Yeah, he rides this really upright style. Looks like he's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
But it's definitely allows him to be steady over those roots. I mean,
and he is far from chilling. That's for sure. Trying to carry the speed wherever he can down there, like all these riders. The flat sections, you've got to get these corners right.
Yeah, I'm looking. I wonder if something happened with his drivetrain.
Yes, possible. He hasn't put a pedal stroke in. 15 back now. We'll find out now if there's no chain. Nope.
Okay. Okay, Wyatt. Okay.
Maybe saving something.
Well, we'll see.
As well. It's a long way.
I think that's one of the things I always used to watch those top riders. They take cranks everywhere. You think that you're taking cranks, and then you kind of look back. You'll see some of the top riders come through, and they're just cranking everywhere. But, you know, only 0.3 loss on that pedal, so you may be right.
Yeah.
Trying to save himself for the bottom. Bike looks all good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much heavy mud stuck to it, so that was good to see. Look at this, Elliot. Beautiful ride, and look at the exit.
Really nice.
Wow.
Got a little bit far over the front. As soon as it starts to go, you just keep getting further and further over the front.
Jake Newell from Kincumber in Australia, 31 years old then.
One of the original Van Zacks with Eddie Masters, Matt Walker, traveling the world.
And another great qualifier for him, 8th here last year after that 6th-place qualifier. What can he do?
Really skilled on the bike.
On the Enduro bike last year.
See what he does on this alien tree. Gets a little bit low.
Gets on that high line though. Looks like it needs to be on the right hand as the rider's right on the exit there to be safe.
Yeah, there is a platform that you can kind of make your turn on because it is off camber. If you really want to be kind of risky, you can stay high all the way.
Yeah.
Jake dropping down that platform, making his turn.
And Green at split 1, 3.3 then. Back at split number 2.
He is a fit guy, so we'll see how much he can make up on this pedal.
And it's all about I feel like, Elliot, this big sector 2 between splits 1 and 2.
So hold on, look at him.
Oh, he's relaxed. He might be asleep because he's so jet lagged. Then he's got in Thursday morning at 3 a.m.
Jake, that's what I like to see, taking cranks out of there because you really need the speed coming into this last section. Off the brakes all the way down through here, pumping as hard as you can.
Back though, he's not going to turn that around, no. But I was going to say, Elliot, that big split, we can see it there on the right, you know, between splits 2 and 3. That is the big chunk of the track down through the middle. It's all about your average speed. It's about, you know, just keeping it rolling, keeping it flowing.
Well, I think that
As always, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the first split is that rock section. The second split is pretty fast. There's a kind of an uphill. You have that corkscrew.
7.7 back, excuse me.
Yeah, but that, even though that, like you were saying, from split 2 to 3 is short, there's a couple of really tight turns through there. A couple of sections that you have to carry your speed. Corner speed matters a whole lot in that, so. There's that section. Look at his front fork. In low, but perfect. Jake having that lanky guy, upright style, super steezy on the bike.
Sending it off Ronning's ramp. Michael Ronning, another one of the original Cairns, one of the first pro downers actually in Australia. Nice. Cleanly over that double there.
Steezing it out, pedaling. And not only is that, so a lot of the time, the last place that Jake would have pedaled is out of that left-hander. So that is one of the things that you can do is shift up over that jump. You can use it for a shifting section so you don't have to do that earlier on the track.
Here's the current leader then. The defending king of Crankworx, Tehuto Arika Pene, has a big trip since Crankworx Rotorua a couple of months ago, been all over the world, Scotland, Poland, and came back on a flight midweek this week, just a day or two ago, the jet lag's going to be horrendous to get those points to defend that crown. And he's done himself no harm here today. 10 riders left at the top. If you just joined us at Crankworx Cairns, it's the Rock Shocks downhill. I'm Rob Warner, Elliot Jackson set next to me. And we have got 10 riders left to go. Will Tahuto's time of 3:52.2 stand. Or will someone be able to beat it? And there is the top 10 standings at the moment. Raimondo Guzman had an incredible ride here last year. Spent all afternoon in the hot seat. He's been down already.
That's right.
Chilly. He was Tahuto last year.
Ryan Gilchrist, it's good.
Yeah.
Really impressive run by to put 7 seconds into Ryan.
To get so close to Mick's qualifier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a look at this SRAM 3-2-1 with Ellie Smith.
Downhill racing, much like the intricate game of chess, is a symphony of small technical decisions. Every turn, route, and jump presents a new challenge. Every calculated decision influences the ultimate goal of achieving checkmate. Or in our case, the sound of victory.
Look at the time!
You've heard it before, but it's true. Being good at slowing down is key to being fastest. Making sure your braking strategy and techniques are dialed in is key to making sure you get down the track as fast and safely as possible.
How it feels to ride SRAM Maven brakes. How it feels without.
Oh my God! Jokes aside, here we are at the Rock Garden, where braking and line choice is so important. We have 2 main line options this year in the Rock Garden. The first one being the full inside line, up and over this big rock and holding it tight all the way down through all the chunky rocks. The other option is to come in and have a wide setup off of a rock drop back onto the main A line or around the outside. We've got a high speed section coming in, so slowing down a bit before you get to the section is important. At the end, we've got 3 different line options, all of which have lots of rocks and roots, lots of things to slip on, especially when it's wet. You will notice most of the riders probably going straight down the middle of all the chunky rocks and off of the last little rock drop, but there is the option to go around if you want to avoid that. But no matter which way you go, it's so important to be super smooth on the brakes, maintaining that good little bit of rolling speed and staying loose on the bike with light, smooth braking is what's key. Hopefully these tips and insights will help you up your braking game and feel a bit more confident to get through technical sections like this. Oh,
Right.
You all good? Gnarly. Your time.
Thankfully, they were okay. Great to see at the end of that piece. Thank you, Ellie. Well, here's some of the riders left to come. Chaz Charlie Makea there. Watch out for him this afternoon. Jackson Frew. He'll be bringing the heat, as will Connor Fearon. Lachlan Roberts, Joel Sutherland, and the last man to drop in, last year's winner, silver medalist at those World Championships here, Mick Hannah. And it's a good vibe at the 50th ever Crankworx Festival. The wild haircuts are coming out. They've been enjoying themselves.
Look at those mullets.
Mullets are in full effect. Yeah. Always a good time.
Got the stees on the hat, a little sideways there.
And there's a slope-style track. Don't forget to watch that. Coming up later over the weekend. Plenty still to look forward to from Crankworx Cairns.
Yeah, it's just getting started.
It is. You're right there. Absolutely. And there's your standard. 7 seconds between first and second place. Sean McCarroll, the veteran. The fastest qualifier in 96.
How is he? Come on. How is he still here?
Honestly, I said he was 56 years old earlier. He's not. but he's definitely like 50. I don't know. He rides all the time. He's never really stopped. But
no, I mean,
he is actually unbelievable, right?
When I was training in Queenstown, I mean, you would see him up there, and he would just be going way too fast.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would put it. He always has been going too fast. Patrick Ward then, 10 to go. Ferntree Gully, 16 years old, this man, this Australian man.
Another one of those young Australians.
Cuts in early off that berm, trying to miss those big holes in it.
Nice.
Yeah, flicking the back over and gets a straight line in. Carrying
a little bit too
horrendous speed in. I wondered if he was going to hold on to that.
Yeah, like you said, he tried to take a super inside. If you do drop off inside there isn't really much to catch you. It's smooth at the beginning, but you have to turn midway through the rock garden. And we see Patrick just not being able to get that turn. Trying to get clipped back in before he heads to the alien tree.
Which is never easy.
You see him flipping in, flipping out.
Trying. Bike's going left, feet are going right. Still not in.
Taking that inside, so that Patrick trying to get some experience here at the Crankworx World Tour, competing against EWR winners, kings of Crankworx, styling it out down there.
Good pump onto this finish line then. Good speed, cleanly over that double. That double's been there a while. I think they've built it up, sprinting through that double there on the back wheel. But he's had enough now.
Yeah.
He's had enough.
You know, I do love to see people finish it off, even though he did have a bit of a mistake. You gotta pedal to the finish.
Here he comes.
Won't be happy about it, but there's
Strider on track.
Downey, Cooper Downey, Joyride Racing.
Yeah, Cooper Downey.
Oh, you can see how rutted it's getting.
Yeah, and it is getting deeper and sounded thicker there. I mean, it's going to take the horsepower of Mick Hannah maybe to tear a bike through that with any pace now.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes those ruts are good, right? Because you can come off of stuff like that and aim for them and it will hold you. And sometimes it's not so good. Outside.
Track looking pretty nasty at the moment. Well, maybe we'll think a little bit differently. But looking really difficult at the moment. Super slippery.
Yeah, I think right now I would be trying to go.
He was up at the first split, this fella, Cooper Downey. Look at that, 1 second up.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking a lot of tight lines. See if it pays off for him.
Squashing well over the top of there. You know, Elliot, on that bermed wall there then, you can even see the bike slide there, so it is still so treacherous and slippery there.
Yeah, and I think ideally you don't want your bike to slide. I mean, sometimes it's not really can't really do much about it, but ideally, I mean, every time your bike is sliding, you're losing speed, and that's the wrong place that you want to lose speed for. So sometimes you can kind of angle your bike down to
maybe something to set a spike, tyres would sort out. But I remember racing here and always bit in the wet as well and being reluctant to put mud tyres on, as we call them, spike tyres, very aggressive tyres, because you know, the track doesn't have the biggest elevation change. It's flatter in a lot of sections, and those tyres are about as slow as it gets, and they are useless in rock sections. Mick Hannah, we know, has got one just on the front today.
Yeah. Yeah, and Cooper, I mean, lost some time in the middle. He had a really good top. He made up some time at that pedal, so, you know, taking a lot of these tight lines like we're seeing. Maybe if he just letting it roll a little bit there, but good run from Cooper.
There is, believe it or not, a double from there to there.
Right.
It was being done last year by Mick in practice. I think someone else as well. I believe someone told me that Troy Brosnan is the only rider to ever done it in a race run. I can't confirm that. I can confirm it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
outrageous.
massive and out of a turn as well. Jes Buton then. Anguston, 17 years old.
Yeah.
These top turns that S around on the top of the hill here before they drop into this rock section.
And Kyle's in the on that MTB bods ride. See how he goes into this rock section.
Doubling over the top of there. We're not carried as much speed as we've seen a lot of the riders, but
Lots
good
of
in.
speed coming in.
And super quick through there, loses the front a bit, but it didn't slow it down.
Into the alien tree section.
Well, I didn't think he came in, over the top of those rocks, carried as much speed into that section, but he definitely carried amazing speed into the rocks and through them.
Yeah, and you can see that he was actually outside of that deep rut, so.
Interesting to see what the clock tells us now then for Jes Buton. But it looked good at the top. 14 back, unfortunately. 3 back nearly then at split number 1 as well.
And we're seeing a lot of people lose so much time in there because the average speed just means so much. There's a lot of sections right after that alien tree. You can carry speed if you're a little bit slow through there. You're going to lose a lot of time.
Oh, look, again, losing the front. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of working.
I wonder if track conditions are getting worse, Elliot, at this moment in time. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. It's hard to say because it's kind of a trade-off, right? Like the route's probably getting a little bit more slick. The sun's definitely not out.
No.
So.
And the humidity's mad. So if the sun's not out, I guess it's not drying too quickly. So who has been sat in that hot seat for an incredible long time now. 3:52 the time everyone's chasing. Gilchrist second, 7.7 back. Jake Newell third there. And then a gap back to Sean McCarroll as this man, Jes Buton, goes across the line 12th with that 4:09.7.
Foot on the pedal, they're making up a second. So I am wondering how somebody like Mick is going to go in this middle section, because that is actually, that bottom is physical, but the whole track, you guys just seeing that little root. Oh, so he was actually trying to take a foot off there, using the roots to kind of get his back in, slung around that right-hand turn, shaving off some distance. Not seeing anyone take that outside line. Wonder if it's gonna come back into play in some of these later riders.
So Charlie Makea, or Chaz Mac as he goes by, 24 years old, from New Zealand, from Napier, big mates actually, with Brooke MacDonald up in Europe, getting ready for Hardline, Red Bull Hardline next week, and that's what I'm talking about. Carrying speed into that section, that was ridiculous.
He's trying to triple it.
He is so wild, this man. Oh, incredible to see, and look, the feet are off. He doesn't care, he's just going to keep it going. 0.4 back, it's messy for Chaz Mac, and surely he's losing a bit of time now.
Just let off the brakes.
He's burying himself.
He was up.
3.4 he was, and now he's 3.4 off, but...
That's not bad. The best we've seen so far.
If he continues to ride like this sort of fashion and can get to the bottom...
He's got Tohono at the edge of his seat.
Look at him. Tohono knows what's up.
That inside. Ride it like he stole it.
Saw him take just outside the top 10 at the first Crankworx stop in Rotorua a couple of months ago now. Last straight time then, full commitment through Ronin's ramp for Chaz Mac.
Took a ton of speed off of that first one. We saw him almost over jump it, so now he's just got to, like you said, get on the pedals. There's time to be made up on this pedal.
He's buried himself. Look at this, 7.3 back at the last split. But it's all out for Chaz Mac, a spectacular run. Exciting stuff, goes across the line and into second place. Look at that, 5.6 back, amazing for Chaz Mac then.
Yeah, there's some big names that he just came in on top of.
Big mistakes, could see a lot of mistakes even on a winning run this afternoon.
Yeah. So here's the rock section. You can see his back end just get hung up a little bit right there. Super precise, actually, riding on top of one of those super skinny rocks. Here's where it started to go a little bit wrong. That part right there is ice. It's super slippery coming into Alien Tree. You can see how much speed he took around this left-hander. which is one of the reasons why he was able to make up so much time on this pedal, because this is your speed all the way to the finish.
Well, he's come good there, Chaz Makea. 5.6 back, but it's Tehuto Arikapen that leads, and here is his run. He's been in that hot seat all afternoon. 6 riders left at the top now, Elliot.
Yeah, I mean,
anyone going to beat him?
I don't know. I mean, it does look a lot more wet when Tehuto was going down. I mean, look at that.
Better, more grip, perhaps. What do you think?
I wonder.
It's hard to know.
It is hard to know. Like, it gets stickier. I mean, you can hear it, right?
Yeah, it definitely looks a bit wetter at the top especially.
But I think that, like you were saying, it turns into peanut butter as it starts to dry out.
It gets sticky.
It gets worse before it gets better.
Less traction. When it's wet, the mud kind of clears the tyres better.
Yeah.
When it starts to dry, you get a slime everywhere. The rocks are not washed. Your tyres are full of mud.
Right.
Bike gets heavier. There's lots of things that go against you. So there's 1 and 2 at the moment then. Crankworx, Cairns. And of course, any festival's a good one. It is some of the best moments.
Brandon, the local boys, 7-9.
Bar spin in, truck out.
Here we go.
Combos.
What? The flip. Look, he's landed it. How good it is to be from Whistler at a moment like this.
What does she have for us? An ET. And there you have it.
There we go.
Backflipping competition for the ladies.
Oh,
There you
yes.
have it. History being made. Let's put it in the books right now. Robin Goombs, the first woman to backflip in the Crankworx Speed and Style competition.
Can he get the win out here today in the running for King of Crankworx?
Yeah, the crowd are on their toes.
There comes Steve Smith going for the three-peat. He's pedaling fast over the last kicker. Rubber side down, bouncing across the line. First place, Steve Smith.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be it. Let's get it. Come on, Lemoyne.
The approach.
You got this.
The crowd's going wild. Thomas Lemoyne. Gap
Yeah!
come on.
Yeah! Oh my God, that was perfect. Look at that. Oh my God. Holds it all together.
Johansson, we saw him rocket ship back to the podium after trying so hard to battle illness and get back on tour.
360 tail whip in, come on. And opposite.
Wow! His name is Emil Johansson. We call him the future of the sport. Will this be the year he wins the biggest event? He is now...
Well, Jackson Frew on a track then. Remember, this man last year was fastest at the last split on this track. Mick Hannah pulling it back on that last sprint down. Second at the 2022 Danifer. He's never won a Crankworx downhill, but he might today.
Looking really, really nice with that alien tree. And
and he's up by 3.4, so it's a massive run for Jackson Frew. And he's showing us that this track isn't going away.
yeah, he has been training for this inside, feet up everywhere. This is exactly how you have to ride this track in the mud. Pumping, waiting, being super patient where he needs to be, and aggressive where he needs to be.
Yeah. A World Cup racer back in the early days. Only 4 riders left to go after this man after Lewis Albon didn't start, so things really hard up here at Crankworx Cairns. RockShox downhill, 1.7 into the green. He was fastest there last year. He's going to have to be all out on here. Tehuto is not looking stressed.
He lost 1.6 on that split, but I think Tehuto knows how strong Jackson Frew is.
Second here last year, what's he going to be? He crosses the line, he goes fastest. 3.3 up, look at that, a 3:48. So that's incredible, a 3:48.9. Mick Hannah's fastest qualifier yesterday in different conditions, a 3:48.8. We have got a race on our hands here this afternoon. Mick Hannah at the top, we'll know that time. Wow.
Jackson Frew coming through this rock section. Like I said, just look how patient he is, letting the bike do what it wants to, keeping the upper body super still. deliberate, a little bit farther right than he would have wanted to be. One of the only riders that I saw kind of do a hop in that alien tree section, but this is where Jackson shines. I mean, so strong. Practicing these gates, super strong in pump track and slalom, kind of an all-around rider. Pumping as hard as he can, getting a half a crank just everywhere that he can gain speed. Ready for We Are One, Maxis Fox. That's exactly what he needs to do.
So another strong ride from Jackson Frew here then. Connor Fearon left next then. 4 riders to go. 30 years old. This man having a great season, 5th at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania earlier this year. Oh, look at the pace of him, 2nd in the downhill here in 2020. An outside dab, that's not good on flat pedals though, so it'll bother him less. Didn't have to get clipped back in. Quick through there.
1.6 up just in the rocks.
Mad, that's so quick then. Oh, and look at this, carrying great speed out of there through that flat section as well, Connor Fearon. Nearly won a World Cup back in the day, just less than a 10th off. 6.6 up, and that's why. That's insane.
That is insane. I mean, he is one of the best corners that we've ever seen.
Yeah, he is.
Just watch how
and look how he's just dragging the bars. This is a different pace.
Yeah.
Getting those pedals
everywhere.
in. Yeah. Getting those pedals in everywhere. Well, the rest of the riders are going to be.
All right.
Look at the pace of him through here.
Over the years, this is where Connor's kind of thrown it away on this pedal, so he really needs to.
7.2 up there, and on that forbidden team now. It's a massive run here from Connor Fearon.
I know he's been riding a lot of enduro, a lot of trail bikes. Looks like he's digging deep.
Last year really affected by that broken collarbone, came back in Crankworx Whistler. He's put it behind him though, and Connor Fearon is looking like his old self there in 2024. Fearon goes fastest by 6.4 seconds. 3.342.4 now. The time to beat. It's the fastest time of the weekend.
Yes.
Incredible. Can anyone get near that?
That is a run. That is a great run from top to bottom. Good on the pedal, strong. We got an outside line, carrying speed, cranking out.
Whoa. What? The pace of him was spectacular. You could see him going faster.
Exactly. Like, it's that average speed. You just see him being so deliberate, hopping those kind of diagonal routes where he needs to, off the brakes, letting the back end slide. And then every year, it seems like he gets a little bit stronger in the pedal. And this year, I mean, to be able to almost match Jackson Frew's split at the bottom is no joke.
No, you're right there, and on flat pedals.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, I sent him an invite to Red Bull Hardline. He said, no, I'm going to stay in Australia, the man from Adelaide, concentrate on Crankworx Cairns. Well, it looks like it might have been the right choice. That was some run then by Fearon.
Yeah, I mean that whole team, the Forbidden team, the synthesis team, him and Emmy Land, Maddie, the team manager.
Brooke now, of course, up in Wales, getting ready for next week's Red Bull Hardline. That's live on Red Bull TV next weekend. You don't want to miss that. Lachlan Roberts, Hurstbridge, 16 years old then, from Hurstbridge, his hometown. Oh, inside those holes on that first turn. And look at the pace again, comes in here hot. No one else trying to double those two rocks though, like Chaz Makea. That was wild.
Yeah.
Pinpoint through there, slow in, cautious in, but building and carrying good pace out.
Yeah, and you can almost see the difference between him and Connor. Maybe lacking a little bit of experience in these kind of conditions.
He will, yes.
Been unbelievable kind of coming up through the ranks. Tons of U17 wins, U19 wins.
Yeah, he does really well domestically.
Yeah.
But you're right, Elliot, and good to get a taste, putting himself against riders like Tahuto. Connor Fearon, 9 back though. He's not going to be mixing it with them today.
Yeah, but I mean,
but
third and
qualify,
that's insane. I think this is a really good experience. I mean, he rides a lot of motocross. He's a really skilled rider.
Tahuto. You know, only 2 riders left, so to who's going to be a top 5 today? Good points towards the King of Crankworx for him, for the defending champ.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it for him to
get on the plane, do 40 hours travel, basically get here at 4 in the morning, unpack his bike and go straight to slalom.
Yeah.
Amazing. 10 back now for Lachlan Roberts then.
Strong in this pedal, he's going for it.
You know someone's giving it all when the head's going as well.
Pushing it all the way to the finish.
So.
Oh, and he's up on Connor.
Nice, look at that. 10 back then, a great run. So, yeah, incredible. The big time gaps opening things up. 3rd quali, 4th now. 2 left to the top.
You can see him, he just hesitates just a little bit in these rock sections. But that section is just so hard to ride confidently like you saw Connor do. That was incredible. That inside. See how slippery those roots are.
Yeah. But, you know, now we've seen the time come down. We know the track's still very much conditioned to set faster times. There's just 2 riders left now.
It never fails that Mick has like a task in front of him.
No, that's right. Because the Hannah double, Tracy winning already. This won't be easy.
Yeah, that was a run. That was a really good run.
And it says it all, that he is 6.4 seconds ahead of Jackson Frew, who doesn't mess about.
It was almost kind of the same situation last year. I remember Mick saying that he knew that he could take off 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of in that same position.
So the man with the biggest smile in Cairns then, the dentist, Joe Sutherland. An amazing ride here last year. Finished 5th, and you do get the feeling this is this man's World Championship. So many friends and family here in Cairns, and it's good, direct, and fast in this first rock section, and fast out. Didn't take the inside line there, little stall, but didn't lose much time. Oh, gets wayward there as well.
Oh, nice, letting it slide.
That was incredible. 2-wheel drifted and hopped over those roots. And rocks, amazing riding then for Sutherland there.
I mean, this guy, new to the Mondraker team this year, only 2.6 back.
So in touch, a second back at split number 1. But everyone gonna have to be so quick down here to keep the tyre. Connor Fearon, honest, he whistled through this section.
Yeah, and we saw Connor.
His corner speed was ludicrous. There alone, I would have said he took time out of Joel, to be honest.
Joel making a couple of mistakes down here, just a couple of dabs, reaching for a couple of turns, and it's just kind of slowing him down just slightly. We saw how many pedals Connor was able to get because of how stable he was in the corners.
So 3.7 back, but this, don't make no mistake, this is still an incredible run. Good enough for 2nd place for Joel Sutherland then, if he can keep going at this pace. Can he beat Jackson Frew? That would be a massive result for him.
Would be.
A 5th last year, looking like he's going to go better today.
Just
waiting for him. Here he comes then. Sutherland comes out of the woods and goes 2nd. Wow, what a run for the local man. Can it be a Cairns 1-2 with Mick Hannah at the top? Wow, 3:45. Good run, eh, Elliot?
That was a great run by Joel. It is getting in those V's like we were saying. It's hung up just a little bit, but riding it confidently. Yeah, great run from Joel. I mean, doesn't get to race much outside of Australia. At one point, only races he did 3 years in a row was Australian national champs and was still top 15. So
yeah, amazing. Huh?
Yeah.
Good to see it then. The local man bringing the heat. Connor Fearon leading 3 seconds. 3.026 to Sutherland. Jackson Frew 3rd. Erika Pene 4th at the moment. And 1 man left to drop. Sick Mick Hannah. Can he make it back-to-back wins here at Crankworx, Cairns? From Trinity Beach. You can see his house from the starter hut here.
Oh.
Tracy did it earlier, riding for Yeti Shimano then. Mick Hannah on track. Cairns World Championships in 2017. He was 0.3 off the World Championship gold medal.
Ridden more laps here than anyone else.
Goes down! Loses the front. He's thankfully okay, but Mick Hannah slams hard in the rocks.
Oh no!
So,
His back wheel.
It's collapsed.
That's.
Well, it was over one way or another. That's that, Mick. He's okay. I'm glad of that.
No way.
Wow.
I mean, that's.
Wow. I'll be interested to see that crash back.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it probably happened because of the.
I wondered which came first there as well. Yeah.
I mean, if your back wheel breaks, there's no weight on the front end, and
he's going to finish the foot on track. Oh, sorry, the track on foot now.
Is he?
Michael's off. He's had enough. No, I think the back wheel took a massive side impact into the spokes.
Yeah.
I think it broke the wheel. That was my take on it. So if we can see it again, we might be able to tell you. Look, watch it. It's just.
I think it might have just come out of the axle.
Yeah, it looked like the axle's gone, doesn't it? It's twisted in there.
Yeah. Huh.
And yeah, you might be right. The wheel looked good and the axle's gone. Strange, huh?
Yeah. It's weird it's an easy thing to do to kind of miss that first V like we were talking about it. But for Mick to miss that is a bit gnarly, but Connor Fearon.
Pushing hard. He knew that Fearon had laid down an amazing time, and it is Connor Fearon then that takes the win of Crankworx Cairns. A 42.4. Amazing to see the Australian. He's been multiple Australian champion. Take that Crankworx win today. Great ride for the Forbidden team. Joel Sutherland improves from a 5th last year to take 2nd today.
Great for Joel.
Amazing for him, absolutely.
See
Raymondo Guzman
there.
Another good ride for that man, 13th.
Yeah. Definitely nice for Sean McCarroll. Another top 10, probably his 50th top 10. Who knows? 500th top 10 maybe. And here's the winning run by Connor Fearon. I mean, he seemed like almost head and shoulders above everyone else.
He did, and the speed of him all the way down. It was phenomenal. Showing us that World Cup form.
Yeah.
Oh,
little dab, like we said, with the flat pedals.
Did wear a cover that really, but the flat pedals, that's where they pay dividends.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really comfortable. I think that Connor was one of those riders that we would see, top 3 at the World Cups. Good to see him kind of back on pace, really being aggressive like that. That was his style. He was almost one of those riders that reminded me of the Ronan Dunn nowadays.
Okay, well, let's hear from today's winner. He's with Tracy.
Connor, 3 seconds ahead of your nearest competitor. Take us through your run.
Yeah, my run was good. I knew it was going to be slippery. It's been slippery for the last 2 days. So there was a few key areas like the alien tree that you just wanted to get through clean and get some good exit speed through it. So yeah, not really mistakes. I think I put my foot down once in the rock garden and then kept my feet on the pedals for the rest of it.
I mean, pedaling's not your strong point. You only lost a second. Have you been training specifically for this race?
Not too much, but yeah, it's always going to be my weak point. I just try to make up for it in the corners at the top.
Well, you did amazing. Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say I'm bummed that Mick didn't get a full run because I really wanted to try and beat him. He went 1-1 yesterday, so it would have been good to get one on him fair and square today, but we'll have to go next year.
All right, hope you heard that, Michael.
It is always bittersweet to get a win when somebody crashes or has a mechanical.
Absolutely, definitely, yep. Well, stay with us then. Me and Ellie will be back to look at this Crankworx Cairns Rock Shocks downhill in a moment. We'll see you in the post-show.
Have you ever stared at a picture and it came alive? They say every rider has a calling. 15 athletes on their mind trip through Europe. A fantastic ride into the wildest dreams of biking. The Old World, now available on Red Bull TV. A new perspective on the streets of San Francisco. Daddy! Join Danny McCaskill on his very special sightseeing tour. Imagination running wild and taking no prisoners.
Welcome to The Rock.
Because making it look easy can be pretty hard. Will he send it? Danny McCaskill, Postcard from San Francisco. Now available on Red Bull TV.
They call him the Iron Giant.
There's nothing like it in the world.
Thousands of hard enduro riders travel to Erzberg to take him on.
The goal, the same as always, finish the race.
But only a handful will make it.
That was mega!
To the finish.
It's never easy to win a championship.
Red Bull Erzberg Rodeo.
Ready!
Live on Red Bull TV. Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV.
Welcome back then. What a Crankworx Cairns RockShox downhill. We've had Connor Fearon absolutely being in a class of his own, really.
Yeah.
The way he took out with that today.
Yeah, I mean, you heard him talk about it. There's a couple of really tight turns at the top, and when you watch Connor ride that stuff, it's like nothing else. So it's really nice, I think, for Connor to get a full run, to have something that he can stand on to say, like, yep, I'm a Crankworx winner. Of course, like he said, it would have been nice to go kind of heads up with Mick Hannah, but
didn't happen, did it? But
yeah.
But like, you know, the way that Connor, you don't often see people corner like Connor Fearon, and today in that run, in those conditions, we saw. Have a look a bit further down. He is
even the first turn out of it is incredible.
I mean, Josh Bryceland, when he was racing, when he was at his peak, said, no one on the World Cup has the corner speed of this man, Connor Fearon, here.
Yeah.
A multiple Australian champion, you know, as I said, came 0.045 off a World Cup win in Leogang a few years ago. He was out last year with the injury, came back at Crankworx Worcester, but, you know, he's back. And as I said, he was in Hardline Tasmania.
Yeah.
We saw him there, actually, Red Bull Hardline Tasmania, taking a 5th place.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, that's the calibre of the man, right?
Right, for sure. I mean, this year it does seem like he's comfortable, enjoying himself. You know, I think it's hard to sometimes like find a rhythm. When you get off, you start to doubt yourself. You start to say, you know, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time. But when you get results like this, when you're having fun, it kind of makes everything worth it. It gives you that extra little boost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's had so much success. Been around a long time. Crankworx win today for him. It's only going to add to his confidence. Mick Hannah won it last year. Tracy won today.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's going to be gutted because, you know, the Hannah family, the mum, I know the mum and dad.
Yeah.
You know, they're all there today. They came, they wanted that double. They didn't get it. But what did Mick do wrong? Not so much, right?
Yeah, I do have something I want to show you. I set something up over here because I was a little bit confused. Like, what did go wrong? And so it's really just what we were talking about. There's so many kind of sideways edges. So I'll pause it right here, and you can kind of see, right, like this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
You can see that really what you want to do is be right here.
Over the top of the point.
Oh, as soon as you get on the side, there's nothing you can do. You can see him starting to turn the wheels, and after that, you're always gonna go down. And so he was literally maybe 3 to 4 inches off.
Yeah.
And that
was probably because a rock a little bit further up had already probably put him off balance. We're not quite sure what happened with the bike there. Mick looked like he was going to run at the bottom afterwards, but I don't know whether the crash caused it or that caused. I feel like that was caused by the crash. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you crash in rocks like that, I think anything can happen. So, yeah, it's just unlucky. I mean, I know he would have wanted to ride through the finish and stuff like that, but yeah, it happens. Mechanicals happen.
Absolutely. But what a great way. What a great Crankworx downhill that was. A great way for the 50th anniversary event as well. It was a proper one.
Yeah.
Conditions came in hard. That rock garden has always caused.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the most difficult rock gardens on the entire circuit.
Yeah, it is.
Because it is so flat, you know, you have to pump, you have to carry speed through it. It's so difficult. So when it gets wet, it's the best in the world.
And I think they take the outside line off this year as well.
Yeah, they're like, none of that. We want this to be real Cairns downhill.
That's right, absolutely. Well, we had dual slalom last night, downhill today.
Yep.
There's speed and style, there's pump, there's plenty still coming, and of course slope style as well.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. Can't wait to see Caroline Buchanan, Madison Smith take the course here in Cairns, and then of course all the guys as well.
That's right. It's going to be amazing. Tomorrow's a big double day. What is it tomorrow? Pump track and speed and style?
Yeah.
You've got your eye on for that. Of course, there's always as well the big fight for the King and Queen of Crankworx. Mm-hmm. That's what happened last year here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to bet against, like a Ryan Gilchrist. It's hard to bet against a Martha Gill. So, we saw her make up a bunch of points on Shania in the downhill. But, like I said, it's early. Anything can happen, as you saw with Mick today.
Yeah, and we're going to see slope style on Sunday. I'll be watching that. I mean, always a spectacle. We've got the added spectacle now of the women this year, taking to their own slopestyle world championship. Incredible to see, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I've been like kind of following everything on Instagram, and I saw Caroline Buchanan like practicing her bar spins up there, and it is crazy to me that just a couple of years ago Robin Gooms was doing backflips in the speed and style, and that was like pushing the limits. And
the
now
start of the progression to this point,
but, like,
really.
Now it's just they could do it easy. You see like a Patricia Druin, and she's just like backflip. So I do a backflip double bar spin. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's the rate of progression is, well, judge for yourselves. Watch on Sunday. You'll be able to see it. Hey, and the downhill, do you know where I'm going? So I'm walking out of the studio, I'm getting in my car, I'm going to the airport, I'm flying to London, and I'm driving directly to North Wales to see what they have done at Red Bull Hardline this year. It's a new top section. The photos I've seen of it, well, I can't even put it into words.
You can't. Like, it looks like a Red Bull Rampage style jump.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to get to North Wales this week. You can follow that live next Sunday on Red Bull TV, but that is one of the biggest races of the year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and we have so much left for Crankworx. I mean, the next Crankworx stop at Innsbruck, and then obviously at Whistler. And for me, Whistler is special too, because we're holding a little conference and trying to get more people into the sport, give them a little bit of extra knowledge. We got Greg Menard there talking about how he has stayed on top for so long, Bas van Steenbergen, Casey Brown. So I'm super excited for that. We're selling some tickets,
I'm looking forward to that.
On Monday.
Is that right? Tickets go sale on Monday.
Well, on Wednesday, but on Monday of Whistler. So check it out.
Got you.
That's too confusing.
Right. I don't even know what to say. I know the 11.99's coming up at Whistler. I'm looking forward to that. Elliot Jackson, thank you very much. It's been a brilliant Crankworx, Cairns. It's been a brilliant 50th event for Crankworx. It's ongoing as well. Thanks very much for joining us at home. We'll see you next time. Until then, it's goodbye.
Jump from ripping and chunk as I presume with the boom that fit in the trunk, the kit in the trunk. Yeah, I got kit in the car. Pull up on a skirt, tell her get in the car. But her booty so big it don't fit in the car. I dropped the top, lit the cigar, and flipped off the law. 100 yards and running it, but didn't kick off the ball. Tried to clip me and all, but couldn't get me. fault. I'm from the jungle, but made it humble. They try to block me, try to stop me, get me to fumble. I heard the mumbles, I heard the whispers. You heard the rumors, you heard them vicious. This kid ink was blowing swishes. I've been showing you this, how to do it, this fluent, stay focused. I'm dope best.